How skin tightening works by using electrofulguration. Young elastic skin depends on the amount of structural proteins such as collagen and elastin. These proteins help our skin resist temporary changes such as stretching, folding or wrinkling. As we age, our bodies produce less of these structural proteins, making our skin more prone to showing signs of aging such as fine lines and wrinkles. A mild superficial controlled burn by using AC Voltaic arcs, DC Voltaic arcs or lasers induces a skin tightening effect which helps the skin restore more of its natural elasticity. This occurs because a localized excitation stimulates your skin regeneration response, resulting in firmer, tighter skin and hence the reduction in the appearance of wrinkles and fine lines. Similar results are also possible by using other skin rejuvenation methods like AHAs, alpha hydroxy acid, base cosmetic peels. However, the use of voltaic arc or cosmetic lasers is generally more selective because it can be applied exactly where required, therefore inducing the skin tightening effect exactly where your client needs it, with a higher degree of precision. With voltaic arc, the techniques used for skin tightening are both spot mode and spray mode. The method we prefer is the spot mode because it is the easiest to learn and accomplishes consistent results. Spray mode operation is also used by experienced users. It is important to emphasize that voltaic arc in aesthetics do not produce dramatic results, which are currently mainly possible by the use of cosmetic surgery. However, voltaic arc produces mild, appreciable improvements in the appearance of fine lines and also reduces the appearance of sagging skin very effectively. Once again, for more dramatic and fast results, the best advisable option is cosmetic surgery. Some of the most common applications of voltaic arc for skin tightening are eyelid tightening, or also referred to as eyelid rejuvenation, reduction of the appearance of fine wrinkles including the appearance of perioral lines, the improvement in the appearance of mildly sagging and loose skin, atrophic scars attenuation by using skin tightening at the borders. Examples of common atrophic scars are acne scars or chickenpox scars. The skin tightening applications of AC Voltaic arcing are several. So, how to perform spot operation for cosmetic purposes? In this part of the video, we will provide the basic principles in order for you to start to get familiarized with the basic techniques used to perform aesthetic treatments by using AC Voltaic arcing. When you first start, it is advisable to start any aesthetic procedure very conservatively, so that you can get used to the basic skin tightening effects produced by AC Voltaic arc. This will provide you the foundations on which you can slowly build upon and, if you wish, later develop your unique techniques once you have gained experience and confidence in the results of these types of treatments. The more experience you gain about the effects produced by AC Voltaic arc for cosmetic treatments, the more confidence you will have, and you will slowly become aware of the versatility of voltaic arc in aesthetic applications. The more experience you have, the better equipped you will be to effectively take advantage of the huge potential of voltaic arc in aesthetic applications. With plenty of practice and a hint of creativity, anyone will be able to master the use of AC Voltaic arc in aesthetic applications. First of all, you should have gained enough confidence in the use of the device so that you are easily able to generate the voltaic arc when the equipment is set a minimum power level. As we have seen before, the best way to practice is on a piece of meat or chicken leg. Normally, enough confidence in the use of the equipment at low power is gained after a number of attempts. The time required to achieve the initial level of proficiency to be able to generate the arc at low power vary from person to person. However, in any case, it is only a matter of practice. As seen in our previous video, The easiest way to achieve the right level of manual skills is by practicing generating the arc with the device set at high power, and then carrying on practicing generating the arc while progressively lowering the power level step by step down to the minimum setting. Right now, you are watching the equipment being used while set at minimum power, and you should be able to confidently generate the arc while the device is set at minimum power, as shown in this video, before you move on to carrying out cosmetic treatments. Once you feel that you have gained enough confidence in your ability to generate the arc with the device set at minimum power level, then you can start your basic training for cosmetic procedures. So keep practicing until you're proficient in handling the equipment at minimum power level. As you have seen in our previous video, the carbonization effects of electric arcing are dependent on the way you apply the arc regardless of the power setting of the equipment. The minimum power level is designed to allow the user to perform the cosmetic treatment while also ensuring the carbonization effects are minimal, and hence even a slightly erroneously prolonged exposure to the arc would not cause significant unwanted damage to the dermis. Please be aware that despite any low power setting, excessively prolonged exposure to voltaic arc will eventually lead to irreversible damage to the dermis or even injuries. Before you carry out any cosmetic procedure for skin tightening, remember to explain the content of the consent form to your client. Then allow your client to read the consent form and ask if she or he have any questions or doubt. Take plenty of before pictures for your own record. Remember that the changes, although appreciable, are small improvements. Therefore, it is very important you have the previous pictures of your client for future reference, so that in any case you can prove the improvements achieved. It is highly advisable to take pictures before each session and not just at the beginning of the first session. You may also find them very useful for marketing purposes in the future. Before carrying out any procedure, remove any makeup or makeup residues and cleanse the area to be treated. Apply numbing cream on the area to be patch tested or treated. Do not use an injectable local anesthetic, even if you are a medical practitioner and allowed to do so. Ask the client to remove any metal objects, i.e. watches, bracelets, earrings, etc. By all means, it is highly advisable to perform a small patch test on the client before starting any full session treatment on each new client, the first time they have a voltaic arcing treatment. This will prove that if the procedure is carried out correctly and the aftercare is followed properly, there will not be any adverse effects, i.e. keloid formations, hyper or hypopigmentation, which a minority of people may be prone to develop regardless the way they have been treated. This patch test should be performed on an area of the face where it will not be easily visible at first glance, like behind the ear. You can see an example of patch testing being carried out without the use of any numbing cream on the wrist, and you can appreciate how the skin recovered, and after 3 weeks there was no sign of any treatment being carried out on the area. Once the client returns 2 to 3 weeks later and both of you and the client are satisfied with the patch test results because there is no significant change in the skin texture, only then you can go ahead and perform a full aesthetic procedure. It is important to understand that the skin tightening effects are dependent on the overall intensity of the treatment and hence the following main factors. The duration of the arc. The longer the duration of the arc at each point during the spot operation, the better the skin tightening effects. On the other hand, in spray operation, the slower the spraying movement, the better the final results. Remember that excessive exposure to the voltaic arcs at any intensity can result in injury. Power level. The higher the power level, the better the results, but higher the potential risks to the dermis. Area covered, the wider the area covered, the better the results. If you use the spot technique, the distance between the spots, the shorter the distance between the spots, the better the skin tightening results. However, said all the above, it is important to mention that an aggressive treatment does not necessarily lead to a proportional improvement compared to a less aggressive treatment. In other words, the degree of improvement is not directly proportional to the aggressiveness or intensity of the treatment. To explain this important concept, if for example over the course of one treatment the duration of the arc at each point is half a second, this leads to a slightly enhanced improvement compared to a treatment where the duration of the arc is only a quarter of a second. All the other factors like power level, area covered, and distance between carbonization spots remaining the same. Doubling the duration of the arc application does not necessarily lead to an improvement which may be twice as good. It only be slightly better. Therefore, even after you have gained enough confidence, it is important and advisable to conduct milder treatments than you would otherwise consider possible. When you first start to use the device for skin tightening, it is best to gain confidence in stages and over a number of sessions. Therefore, the very first time you use the device for skin tightening, apply the arc in the mildest possible way at very low intensity. Then, as you see the results after each treatment, you will progressively gain confidence with the use of the equipment for each particular skin tightening application. Because the spot technique leads to consistent results and it is very easy to learn, the best way to start training for skin tightening by using AC Voltaic arc is by applying the spot mode with the device set at minimum power, distancing the spots at least 3 to 4 millimeters apart as shown in this video. Also, the duration of the application of the arc at each spot needs to be brief, resembling a short burst as shown in this video. Average maximum duration 1/4 of a second. As you gain confidence by seeing the results of the mild aesthetic treatment, then you can start slowly increasing the intensity of the treatment by increasing the spot duration and/or decrease the distance between the spots or the power setting of the device, etc. In this video, we can appreciate how an experienced user applies the Voltaic arc on the skin in a half-a-moon shape. The device is set at minimum power. You can also notice the very close distancing of the randomly applied Voltaic spots. The result looks as if the area has been covered in spray mode. The final result, after the area has recovered, are very good because although the distancing is very close, the spots have been applied in a mild way. Generally, when using the spot operation, remember to apply the spots in a random fashion in order to accomplish a uniform skin pulling effect. In this other video, we can see another experienced user performing a mild treatment for under-eye skin tightening. This video will also serve to explain another important concept in the utilization of Voltaic arc for skin tightening. The spots should be applied only in between the lines and not on the wrinkle folds themselves, because applying the spots on the wrinkle fold themselves could worsen the appearance of the fine lines. In this other video, you can see how a mild spray mode can be used instead of the spot technique for fine lines attenuation. Here we can see how the Voltaic bursts are applied for skin tightening for acne scar attenuation. For acne scar attenuation and any other atrophic scar attenuation, the spot mode is applied on the border of the depressed area of the scar and never on the depressed area itself. Here we can see the skin tightening applied for perioral line attenuation. As you can see, the mild spots are applied always in between the wrinkles and never on the wrinkles folds themselves. So to recap, train on a piece of meat or chicken and make sure you're able to generate the arc while the device is set at minimum power. This is a very important skill you have to learn before you move to carrying out cosmetic treatments for skin tightening. Gain enough confidence before starting any cosmetic procedure for skin tightening. Before starting any aesthetic treatment onto your clients, explain the content of the consent form verbally and have it signed before you move to carrying out any treatment onto your client. Always ask your clients if they have any questions before proceeding. Take before pictures and before short videos, the more the better, and store them electronically for future reference. You will find that they will be very useful later on. Cleanse the area to be treated. Apply skin numbing cream before starting any cosmetic procedure for maximum comfort of your client. Ask the client to remove any metal object before undertaking any treatment. Always perform a patch test and let the area recover before performing a full treatment. This is normally done at consultation stage. You can change the intensity of the treatment by varying the spot duration, the distance between the spots, the amount of area covered, as well as the power setting of the equipment. When using AC Voltaic arc for skin tightening for the first time, always start in a very conservative fashion by performing very low intensity treatments. Use the device at low power setting. Apply the voltaic spots far apart in very short bursts. As you see the results after the area has recovered fully and you gain more confidence, you can then slowly and gradually increase the duration of the spots and decrease the distance between each spot applied, hence increasing the intensity of the treatment. When applying the voltaic arc for fine lines attenuation, cover the area between the wrinkles without applying the arc in the wrinkle folds themselves. If using the spot mode, apply the spots randomly in order to accomplish a uniform skin pulling effect. Never apply the spots to draw a line, as this could result in asymmetrical undesired result. Do not remove the carbon residues soon after the skin tightening treatment. Apply the appropriate soothing product, soothing mask, gel or cream, on the area as soon as finish the treatment to maximize comfort and minimize the downtime. Remind the client on the importance of the aftercare, including the application of antiseptic products to reduce the risks of infection. No makeup of any type should be worn until the area has recovered completely. Total sunscreen must be used every day for up to 3 months after the last treatment. Allow a minimum of 6 weeks interval between treatments on the same area of the skin. We hope you found this video useful. Thank you for watching.